And here we go. Live. On time. So, dramatic music. Canceled. No, I'm kidding. Not canceled. But there was no episode tonight from Heinz Verified, which I was not aware of. But so I was sitting there like, hey, how come they don't have the preview getting ready to go? Like 10 minutes. I'm like, hey, how come 2 minutes? I'm like, what the? One start. I'm like, oh, what's this? Okay. So I tried to contact the producers. I guess the one guy's in France. Must be nice. And then the other guy was at a black tie event, Michael. So I was like, what? Editors and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, it would have been nice for me to know and not tell everybody to watch and post about it. So, rude. Rude. You know what else is rude? Waking up sore. Okay? Just going to bed and waking up sore. I'm like, why? So I had to Google it. How do we get sore from sleep? So I Googled it and it says, no, don't sleep on your stomach. So apparently passing out face down, not the good way to do, especially on the couch. So I guess that's why I woke up sore like I was, in a fist fight. So note to self, don't pass out on the couch. And if you do, make sure you're on your back, unless you're going to throw up and then you'll die like Jimi Hendrix, according to me. Live from the basement in Columbus, Ohio, it's the Randsanity Show. So that was rude. I was not aware that there was not going to be a Heinz Verified episode tonight. I was expecting Cleveland, and I got nothing. I got nada. Bupkis, as they say. So I don't know what was going on with that. Again, I was made not aware of any of this, so I felt like I was like, sorry, didn't mean to not let you know. But that apparently is what happened. So my apologies to you and everybody else that expected something, because it wasn't there. So, all right, my day started off because I had to get new tires today. And so I did, in fact, my good deed of the day was what? I went to Buckeye Donuts, and of course, because, the guys are going to work hard. Now, I got to tell you, so I went to Discount Tire in Grove City, Ohio. So I got to give these guys props. I got there at 8 o'clock and no activity. They got like 4 big garage bay doors. Don't see anybody in the store. There's a couple cars. The guy pulls up with a flat tire. I was like, oh, bummer. And then I see another guy. The tire is shredded. And I mean, I'm talking, I went to get a picture of it, but I was like, I just didn't want to do it. That seemed rude. Again, rude. That's the theme today, rude. I didn't want to do it. It was shredded off this guy's truck. And I look, and his spare apparently was next to the truck, also flat. So I was like, oh man, this guy's going to have a bad day. Not starting off right. But anyway, so I got there at 8 o'clock. I'm like, and I'm sitting there. I'm impatient. I got there about 15 minutes early because I went to Buckeye Donuts and got donuts for, I figured it'd be nice. Hey, get donuts for these guys. Plus, I wanted to get out of there fast. I didn't want to sit there. They said it'd take about an hour. I was like, okay, I got somewhere to be at 9. So all of a sudden, 8 o'clock hits, and the doors start opening up. Guys pulling the chain, and the doors crank it up. Second one starts opening. Third one starts opening. Fourth one starts opening. There's 4 guys in there. There's a couple of guys walking around. I'm like, okay, all right. I walk in, and the guy's like, he's like, how you doing? I said, I have an appointment at 8 o'clock. He goes, oh, great. Where's the keys? I said, in the car. He pulls it into the thing, and it was like an indie pit crew. I mean, I worked in a Goodyear at some point when I was like, a teenager or something. And it was like, we had one of those little tire balancing things and one of those tire rim remover things. And, for me to do 4 tires, I mostly did flat repairs. But for me to do 4 tires, man, it's going to take me a long ass time. Because I'm, put a tire on, take a tire down. 4 guys are working on the car. They took the tires off like a pit crew. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just see them roll out the tires. I got them stacked up in a pile ready to go. I mean, honestly, I was in and out of that place in 30 minutes. I am not exaggerating. And I mean, I'm talking like, I was like, oh, no, here's all your paperwork. You're good to go. Prepaid. Have a great day. Done. I didn't have to go even back into the store. I just stood outside. I walked to the Home Depot because it was across the parking lot, picked up something, came back, and 30 minutes I was driving away. Amazing. If these guys have a Yelp review or something, 5 stars. Best service I had. Did not wear my DYFJ shirt because they did not deserve that. They absolutely 5-star rating. Ding! Seriously. Tire Discounters, Grove City, Ohio. If you need tires, recommended. Highly recommended. Okay, so that was my good deed for the day. And also it got something that I need to get done today. Extra pizza episodes. Yes, I know. Dude, rude. Rude. No one warned me that there was not going to be an episode. I'm just like, I did do this though, okay, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to totally out myself. So episode 1, I had 2 title cards, right? I was feeling pretty good, like, man, oh wow, they're going to feature me. This is awesome. I'm like, holy crap, this is so cool. Episode 2, I didn't have a title card. I was like, okay, whatever. Episode 3, I didn't have a title card. I'm like, oh, wow, maybe they're just, maybe I'm too popular. But anyway, thinking that, egotistically me, totally popular. But I did, in fact, send something to the producer. I'm like, yo, bro, I said, hey, I just was wondering who I have to bribe to get another title card because, I had one in episode 1. I had 2 in episode 1, but 0 in episode 2 and 3. I'm like, what up with that? Didn't get back to me. And then there's no episode tonight. So again, I'm not going to lie. My initial response thinking that, I was like, oh, okay, well, what's going on here? Is this a bad sign? Because someone, was joking around and telling me that, that was, who knows what that means. But again, my brain went to canceled. So it's not canceled. I'm just kidding. Do not say that. I'm just being a dick. Because nobody told me. I'm supposed to know what's going on. I have people watching. I have people sitting in my house going, what's going on? I'm like, I don't know. I'm feeling dumb. Rude. Telling you, rude. You wake up sore because you're old. All right, now see, that's just not cool. All right? I did say old at some point, but I woke up sore because I passed out face down on the couch, all right? That's the reason, not because I'm old, all right? I exercise every day. I do push-ups every morning, and I'm not sore. I climbed ladders today, and I'm not sore. I lifted things and moved stuff and painted and carried things, and I'm not sore. So it's not old. Damn it. All right, don't forget, like the video. There's 5 of you here. 5! Amazing! Woo! We're increasing our live numbers. It's because I gave you all day notice. This, if you haven't already, like and subscribe to this too. Randsanity. I'm eventually going to move over to that. And I will start posting these on that and shorts and other things as I start to get better editing. How was my bucket donut editing? Was that okay? I did that the last minute here. I'm using CapCut because it seems to be pretty intuitive, and I'm stupid when it comes to editing. So was my editing okay? But yes, give this a like, people. See, Don has to remind me. He's my secret producer, just so you know. He's in my ear bugging me about things. He puts stuff down there, and I look at it and go, oh, right, I should do that. So, okay, so today was peanut butter cookie day. I did have a peanut butter cookie. Well, actually, it was a peanut butter donut. Count? Maybe? Because if you looked at the video on the Buckeye, there was those Buckeyes. They look like Buckeye cookies. And it was peanut butter, a lot of peanut butter. So I did have a peanut butter donut. Technically not a cookie. But, so peanut butter cookie day. It's also Red Rose Day and Loving Day, which remember we're not even going there. But of course, my favorite, it is National Jerky Day. National Jerky Day. Nothing like meat sticks. Nothing like meat sticks. For Sarah, meat sticks. Now tomorrow, okay, it is National Golf Cart Day. So apparently you have a golf cart. And of course, this is like a Hallmark holiday. Easy Go is the one who invented this. Go figure. I mean, you invent your own stuff because that's what you sell. Who knew? It's Wear Blue Day. So I guess they said that's the Friday before Father's Day. So Wear Blue Day tomorrow. I don't have a blue shirt, so I'll just wear a blue face. I don't know, because all my shirts are black, okay? And if you don't know why do I wear shirts on black? Not because I'm goth, not because I'm edgy. It's because I'm messy, okay? Messy. I spill stuff all the time, constantly spilling things on myself. So black is the only thing that really hides it. Gray, worst color in the world for me, because it always shows stains. Like I have a wet, oh, did you spill something? I'm like, of course I did. I dribbled, or I crumbs, or I'm surprised there's not stuff on this shirt. See, look, there's already stuff on it. And there's like a new shirt. Go figure. But that's why, okay? Black shirts, messy. And eventually when I get the Randsanity's tea shop up, most of the shirts are black. You can get any color you want. I don't care. But I'm offering them black, and the pictures will be in black because I'm messy. Thank you for that public service announcement. Also, tomorrow is Blame Somebody Else Day, which I feel like that's a total cop-out. Blame Somebody Else Day? National Blame Somebody Else Day? Man, who makes these things up is what I want to know. But the one we're really going to talk about is it's Friday the 13th. We're aware of this, right? Tomorrow's Friday the 13th. So, I was curious. I'm like, well, why exactly is Friday the 13th bad? Because I've actually never really thought about it. I'm like, sure, Jason, Voorhees, Friday the 13th movies, scary horror, so and stuff. But what's the actual behind it? Like, why is Friday the 13th bad? So I went to the Google machine and I asked the Googles. Oh, and did anybody notice the new thing today? There's something new. Remember, contest, new stuff. So I asked the Googles, okay? And I wrote it down. See, I'm old school. I'm going to write the stuff down because if I write it down, it's muscle memory and I can remember what it was, so I don't have to refer to notes too much as opposed to just reading it. Old school. Notes. Copious notes. So, Judas was the 13th guest at the Last Supper, and Jesus was executed on a Friday. That's it. There it is. That's why Christianity and Friday the 13th is screwy. Also, Norse legend is Loki is the 13th god. Again. And of course, he's the god of what? Chaos and death. So that's actually where Friday the 13th comes from, according to me. Judas was the 13th apostle. Jesus was killed on a Friday. 13, Friday, bad. Loki, the 13th god. I'm not sure what the heck the Friday part is for that one. I didn't really think I found it. But 13th god, chaos and death. Also, wait, one more. And again, huge religious undertones. On the 13th of 1307, when there was a mass arrest of the Knights Templar, Friday the 13th of 1307. So there it is. That is where, according to the Googles and the AIs, where all of this angst for Friday the 13th comes from. And if you don't know this, there are some hotels that don't have room 13, and there's some buildings that don't have a 13th floor. So that's how superstitious we are about the number 13. But it goes back to Neo-Christianity and Norse legend. Who knew? That is news to me, and accordingly so. But that is what it is. So what can I say? That is why we don't like Friday the 13th. Amazing. Interesting stuff there, ladies and gentlemen. Interesting stuff. All right, so music from today. That was an easy one. I found it right away. June 12th, Catfish and the Bottlemen. They also did a big room. Catfish and the Bottlemen, what a great band, great show. The opening band was the Warren Flints. This was in 2016. Warren Flint's local Columbus band. Great guys. Good show. They actually did a cover rendition of Hot Chocolate. Wow. Good stuff. I actually think it's on the last, they played, I think the last, somewhere. There's I think they had Gratitude Fest, I think it's filmed, but they played that, the Hot Chocolate, and they, such a good cover. Really, really enjoyed that. I think I asked them to do it too, because I was like, play it, why not? All they can do is tell me no. But they didn't. So, yes, Hot Chocolate, Warren Flint's Catfish and the Bottlemen on this day in music, my music history, at the Newport Music Hall. You're going to hear that name a lot. Newport Music Hall, longest running rock club in the country. Okay, longest running rock club in the country. Right on High Street, right across from the Ohio State University campus, where my first job was when I moved to Ohio as a bouncer, working the stage door, where I had a fun experience, my favorite fun experience of talking about, and without saying his name because he's bad to the bone. I was not allowed to look at him as he walked by from the dressing room to go to the stage. I had to turn my back. Don't look at me. Not allowed to make eye contact because I am such a big star. I am so cool. Can't have that happen. Jackass. Jackass. Yes. Not me. I'm just telling it and recanting the story of this jackassery. So you have to work with it here. Okay? That's what's going on. So that was the exciting news of the concert. I did not really go searching for my tickets. I have a crap load of tickets that I've been digging through to find them. So that's the first one I found, but I guarantee there was more. I did discover, I did a little Googling, but it makes sense. So there was a lull, slow down, sort of in concerts in the summertime, and right around now. And that would make sense because years ago, when the university had semesters, this is when it ended, the beginning of June. So when the students were gone, they slowed down on concerts because obviously with 50,000 less people across the street, they didn't sell as many tickets. So there was a much slower time in the summer when it came to shows. But then there was a glut of them coming afterwards, and then, August, September, students back and everything else. But I am able to find shows because, like I said, I have a show for every day of the year. I'll guarantee it. I'll be able to find 365 shows that I've been to for the fact because I went to shows for 35 years, probably 3 to 4 a week. So you do the math. It's a lot. It's just a lot. I didn't do the math, but it's a lot. So, all right, let's see what we got going on here. Soon to celebrate golf cart day, and I'll wear my blue golf shorts. That would be awesome. I don't have a golf cart. I did try and purchase one. I was close. I almost did a trade for a golf cart. It needed new batteries, though. And I was like, oh, that's going to be really expensive because it was like 12 batteries or some ridiculous thing. I'm like, okay. I was like, $100 a pop. I said, it's like $1,200. I'm like, yeah, but it's not really worth what I'm... So I didn't get it. I'll drive one here soon. I'll be in the Doodah Parade. I'm the unofficial starter of this parade, which is this wacky mayhem parade that happens in Columbus, Ohio on the 4th of July. Non-traditional, drinking in the streets, kind of silliness. But yes, I'll be in a golf cart that day, so I can actually celebrate then. And maybe I'll wear something blue. I don't know. Blue hair. Blue eyes. I do have blue eyes, see? They're dark blue. They're steely blue. They're not like these, really light incandescent blue eyes, but I do have blue eyes. So I'll wear blue. Don says, give yourself a hand. Yes, lavalier mic tonight. Yes, is that working better? So that's what I'm trying because it works nicely. Because I can move around and I don't move away from the mic. I don't have to look down at it. It's not my face looking awkward. So, no, give yourself a hand. That is not what's new, Don. Not what's new. I will give it away, though. It is, in fact, what? I've talked about it before. It is what will kill us all. AI. I've had this license plate on my scooter for years. You can see, look, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. I mean, I've had it for at least, oof, man, it goes back to like maybe 2008. Oof, but I've had this AI way before it was a thing. So, yes, my AI license plate. That's what was new today. I know someone else would have probably gotten it, but, I just decided to do that. For some reason, my computer keeps sleeping. And when it's sleeping, it, see, it does that. It makes that noise again. So, pinpoint security, shut up, est. I'm going to remove this program. I'm going to get rid of the security on my phone, my thing, computer, whatever this is. Not because I want to, but because, I already have it on something else. So I'm just going to remove the whole program at this point. Just remember to do that. There you go. I'll remember to do that later. Let's see. So it is Friday the 13th. So I'm not overly superstitious when it comes to Friday the 13th. I think it's just another day. I do not walk under ladders, and that's it. Typically, walking under ladders, bad luck. I think that one's bad luck for the fact that you get hit in the damn head. Okay? If you're walking under a ladder, someone drops something. I was on a ladder today, and I dropped a pair of scissors from about 8 feet. If you were underneath that, that was going to poke your brain. Just saying. So, I think that's part of the lore of the bad luck when it comes to ladders, according to me. Because, things drop on your head. The mirror thing, I think it's just because mirrors were really expensive. They're cheap now, but remember when mirrors were, long ago, they used silver to cover the backs of the mirrors, and I think it was really hard to make mirrors. So my assumption is that breaking a mirror bad luck is because you break your reflection. It's also probably because they were expensive, again, according to me. Black cats, I don't know, cats just scare people. Who knows? They're slinky and sneaky and cat-like. Again, shut up, endpoint security. Good God. But they're slinky and scary, and, you got to be a cat person to really understand cats. They're aloof. You don't go to pet the cat comes to pet you, and you're just like, pet me, and here's my butt. Right? I mean, my dog lunches on my lap, like, love me. He just falls over and like, pet my belly. Your hand's not doing anything, pet my belly, pet my belly. So I think that's where the cat thing came from, just because, you go to pet its belly and it bites you. What? I was going to pet you. No. I tell you when you pet me, not the other way around. I'm a cat. That's how it works. What else? What else is with bad luck? You find a penny upside down. I think that's just because pennies actually had some value at some point. I had to pick one up the other day for an old lady. She wanted to put it in her shoe. She was like, I can't. I was like, seriously? I'll do it, no problem. Picked up the penny, and then I put it in her shoe. If she had asked me to clip her toenails next, I'm out. That's it. That's where I draw the line. Not doing it. I think feet are gross. Definitely not a foot fetish guy. Not my thing, man. Sorry. Feet are just, these strange, weird appendages at the end of our legs that keep us upright from falling over. I have big feet. That means I have good balance. That's about it. I don't fall over, We got canoes on the bottom of my legs. Feet, not my thing. So, I'm not cutting some old lady's nails. She was lucky I picked up the penny and put it in her shoe. I draw the line. Anything past that, not happening. Just drawing the line completely. Just because. Let's see, mic sounds very good when you're talking normal volume. When you get loud, I hear a little distortion, not much, just a little. I can tone it down. It has that ability. That's what's nice about this. This is like a Sennheiser. So this is actually a good lavalier mic. It's not some little cheap brand. I'm sure we got these. Again, the radio station bought them long ago. So, I got these little things. I can make the setting and change it. And it's a beautiful thing. So, I'll keep that in mind. I'll adjust it accordingly. I could probably put a filter on it or something to make it work that way, or I can move the mic. It's right here under my shirt. When I did the Stephen Heath thing, they taped it to my very non-hairy chest, which was great for them. They didn't have to worry about sticking to my, manly hairy chest. So he just taped it on every day. Kaplan was his name. He was an interesting guy. He was an ex-police detective. And he was the guy who ran the drone. He was the guy that did all the sound. Yeah, he was the key grip. And he had an assistant, but yeah, he was the sound guy. Kaplan, nice guy. It was a good crew from Jersey that did the Heinz thing that didn't show tonight. I don't know why. No one told me anything. I feel left out. That's why I'm the co-star, apparently. Mm-hmm. Quotes, co-star. But we want season 2 and 3. I'll be happy to finish season 1 at this point. Cleveland. Of course they cut Cleveland out. Make it late Cleveland. What the hell? All right? Cleveland rocks, damn it. That's what I said. Cleveland rocks. Because it does. Anyway, I'll try and get off my soapbox of Heinz Verified. I'm sure it's not Heinz Verified. I mean, they're not the ones that did it. They funded it. You know, they probably want to run as much too. You know, and Steven needed some more Steven time, you know, throwing pizzas in the air. Just for the fact that, you know, I didn't throw pizzas in the air. I probably would have done a better job, but, you know, it's only because I've actually thrown pizzas in the air before and he was just trying it for the first time. So that would be cheating. But that's that unfair advantage. And I was talking about that earlier in other episodes. You have to create those unfair advantages, like the cone that went with me to Chicago. And now I just forgot my total train of thought when it came to unfair advantages. Damn it. I even had it in the note of unfair advantages. That rambling old brain, according to Todd. That's why I'm sore today. Todd. You. Don't compensate it and start whispering. I'm not whispering. There's no whispering. Okay? I'm not whispering. Not compensating. I'll overcompensate, but I won't compensate. Do I need to like do that ASMR that all the kids do? No, not so much. No, I don't get that either. Just, I don't understand that thing. That's definitely, maybe it's a younger brain thing or whatever, because yeah, no, I'm not, that's not working for me. You know, right. It's like, why are you whispering? Speak up. Just saying. What the hell is the unfair advantage now? I don't remember. I did move the cars. Today was the street cleaning day for the neighborhood I live in, so I had to move the car this morning at an ungodly hour because I realized, oh crap, I need to get the car off the street. Because if I don't get the car off the street, they tow it. And that's never good because the city is pretty expensive when it comes to towing your car on street cleaning days. And they give you lots of notice. There's giant signs everywhere, street cleaning day, street cleaning day, street cleaning day. Third Thursday of every month, April through November. And I almost blew it. So that would have been bad with a capital B and ends with an AD. So didn't do that, moved it. Because again, that would have been what? Rude. Rude. That's what that would have been, rude. So it was not rude, so I did not get the car towed. So that was nice that didn't happen. So let's see, now don't forget what the unfair advantage is. Damn it. Hate that. I hate that brain fart when you were thinking of something intently. It's like walking through a door. And now I guess that's real, okay? I did look at that because I was wondering, like, why does that happen? So apparently when we walk through doors, like if you go from one room to another, so, you know, you get up and you're like, what did I get up for? What did I forget? Did you walk through a door? Like a doorway? Something about how our brain resets, again, according to me, our brain resets when we walk through doors. So you walk through a passageway, that's where you forget something. So if you had a straight shot and you didn't go through a passageway, you're less likely to not forget whatever that thing was that you forgot. So just keep that in mind. 3 likes. Very nice. Don't forget, I'm at 585. I'd like to get up to 1,000 at some point in the not so distant future. So I can monetize it, which would be nice, you know, because this is expensive to do, people. What do you think, I have all the time and the money to do this? What's what I do at 11 o'clock at night? Because because I don't get home until then. So, I have to get home late from work and do this all over again. So tomorrow morning, I get to chip stuff. Chipping. So Papa Smurf, that's his nickname. Papa Smurf, his name is Rick Druschel. Rick Druschel. He is the tree guy, Mr. Tree. And he is a buddy back from college. So the story of Rick, and he'll probably kill me for this one, but he got the nickname Papa Smurf. So ski trips, we would take bus loads of kids, and I mean bus loads, like 4 bus loads of 50, so like 200 people out west to like Colorado. You go to like Steamboat or Breckenridge or Vail or wherever. And on one of these said excursions, I think Rick fell asleep. And the rules were if you fell asleep, a lot of times you could get a Sharpie waved under your nose, and if that woke you up because you were like, sound to run at me. Well, if you fell asleep and you weren't waking up because you can poke him and you're kind of out, well, you may have gotten drawn on. Well, Rick got turned blue with Sharpie. And I mean, like almost entirely. And we stopped at a McDonald's, and he got out, came into the store, and did not realize that he was in fact blue. And like sat down and, we're all eating and just trying to keep a straight face. Not really, nobody can understand what this is. And then I gotta get up to go to the bathroom. We just scattered because we knew he came out of the bathroom screaming, "What the?" And it didn't come off. It was Sharpie. Okay, I don't know if you've ever gotten like a copious amount of Sharpie on your skin. You can get most of it off, but not all of it. And not immediately, and not at a rest stop in the middle of Wyoming or Kansas or somewhere where there isn't a whole lot of, Pond's soap and facial cream or whatever to remove it. So he was blue, and he became Papa Smurf. So we still call him Papa Smurf to this day. But he's coming tomorrow, and he's bringing a chipper. He's got one of those, those really loud wood chipper things. And I did cut down a lot of trees the last few days, including tonight. I cut down a really big limb tonight. I'll make a fun video about it. And so I'm going to chip tomorrow. Lots of chipping, and early, like 8 o'clock in the morning. So whatever neighbors are left tomorrow are going to hate me, because that thing is just going to be wailing up a storm, chipping away wood for probably an hour. I cut down so many limbs and so many trees. But that'll be tomorrow morning. So chipping will be fun. If I had a crappy camera, I could chip a crappy camera. Maybe I'll find an old GoPro. No, probably shouldn't do that. I mean, it would definitely chip it. Don't get me wrong. It's not like it wouldn't. This is the stuff horror movies are made of. You catch an arm in that thing, and it's taking you in. You're done. I mean, you're going to come out on the other side like a Fargo, where the guy was chipping him into the woods. No. But this is no, we're not going to do that. We won't be chipping people. At least I'm going to pray that we're not chipping anybody, accidentally or otherwise, tomorrow. But yeah, so chipping tomorrow in the morning. And I think we're supposed to get some rain. Are we getting rain? I don't want rain, damn it. But yes, we'll do some chipping. And then I have some screening in of a porch to do. I've got to replace some decking, and then some drywall work and window replacement. So I've got a full list of stuff to do tomorrow. And then it'll be Saturday. So, and Friday the 13th will be over. So now that I just thought about it, it's Friday the 13th, and I am going to be using power tools. So, yeah, hopefully we don't do anything bad, There's probably a camera I left laying around, maybe. When's the next Heinz episode? I've been in Arizona for all 3 time zones behind. Been missing your show. Todd, the next one was tonight. Rude. Well, I'm assuming now next Thursday? I don't know. No one apparently tells me anything. As I am, in fact, the co-star. Okay? I'm not whispering Don. That was just the subliminal, kind of co-star. Okay? So, give me a break. Give me a break. Oh, wait. I have to make sure I have my... Got my Sharpie. See, always have my Sharpie. Don't have a sponsorship from it, but I've been carrying a Sharpie in my pocket for a really long time. And I thought I got Sharpie on my thumb. Apparently I didn't. I smashed my thumb. Look at that thumbnail. Damn. Ow. Not good. Now, would this camera do better if I did that? You can see my thumbnail? Nope. Too bright. Sorry. I have to figure that out. I don't know if there's settings that are on the GoPro that I can make it so it's got less light coming in, or who knows. I'll put something. Or I won't. I'll change cameras and put something different there. I don't know. I'm still working on that. Still working things. So Friday the 13th tomorrow. So do Friday the 13th things and Friday the 13th accordingly. No black cats. No driving golf carts under ladders with black cats while breaking mirrors. And I have had a mirror or two broken. Don can actually attest to that. We were in Delaware once and watched the guy hit my car, and there went the mirror. And I was like, seriously? You're just going to keep driving away? Okay, well, that was rude. See, it's like Pee-wee's Playhouse. The word of the day is rude. Rude. Kara Jones would appreciate that because she always said rude. But no, there's actually a really good special on HBO about Paul Rubens. Pee-wee Herman. Interesting guy. Definitely a little quirky, a little weird, but driven is all get out. Who knew? He just thought he was kind of, Pee-wee Herman, but he was driven, man. He really was. He was determined to be a star, and man, he made it happen. But he also got caught, beating his meat in a dirty theater and accused of all sorts of stuff. So, it's tough. Tough being on the top there, Pee-wee. Well, also, I guess it's tough being a caricature because he never was famous for Paul Rubens. He was famous for the character he created, Pee-wee Herman. So if you have it, HBO, good special, worth watching. 2 parts. Not too much time. Again, when I do my TV time, late at night, like now. I started watching the new John Hamm show, Friends and Neighbors. I guess that's what it is. Friends and Neighbors, I think it is. Binge watching that sucker. Pretty good. I like John Hamm. I told you I met John Hamm, right? When we were at Vegas, went to the NHL draft. Got topless in the ice bar. Was really, really not feeling it the next day at the actual draft. Sitting in the chairs, thinking about death, because that's about what I wanted to do at that moment. Vegas stays there? No, I brought that hangover home. It was with me for days. Yeah. Oh, crap. I did forget to switch the camera back. Because, see, the problem is this. I'm looking at the screen here, but I didn't look there because I moved my display. See, I moved screens, so I have, this one's my screen that shows all my output, and then this one is a screen that I now have that shows my YouTube feed, but it's not hooked up because apparently I brought the wrong cord with me. So I need a HDMI converter to the little prongy thing, or the HDMI to the monitor, because the monitors are nice monitors from the station because that's where everything comes from, but it doesn't have the right converter, so I couldn't do it. So thanks for letting me know. Yes, because what I wanted to do was, thanks so much, Todd, you're the best. Hey, over here. Yes, because what my plan is to be able to pop the chat out onto the screen so I can see it, so I don't have to sit there and just look down because it's small and, according to Todd, old. My eyes aren't what they used to be. So I have to wear glasses to see things, which are always dirty. Wow, man, they are dirty. Lots of fingerprints because I am not a good glasses guy. And these are, in fact, glasses that come from Home Depot. I buy them by the 3-pack for like $12 because I break them constantly. If you've already seen, I did that recently. I broke the temple of the glass off, which I've never done. Normally I break the, whatever this is, the frame or the lens is, but no, I actually broke the temple. See, look, I've got them right. Nope. Old pair, not broken. Wait, look, here they are. Hanging up in the bag, that's my electric bag. Yeah, look at that. Broke the temple. No idea how I broke the tent pole. Like literally. It was just pointy on the side of my head. I'm like, why is this it? Probably has something to do with being in my pocket all the time, but you know, they're glasses. Isn't that what we're supposed to do? Treat them with care and kindness. Right. Care and kindness, care and kindness. All right, so yeah, so this camera is 1, this camera is 2. So I do have to look down and see the little button, whichever is lit up, the tally light, because that's what it's called when the little red light is on the actual camera, but I don't have them on the cameras, I only have them on the Blackmagic. So I have to look down, and because my screen is so small, because it's on my laptop, and I didn't get to move it to the big screen, I screwed up. So that was pilot error. Pilot error. Write that down. Pilot error. Perfect. So look at that. 4 likes. I think that's the best I've had for a video. It's only because Don keeps reminding me to hit like. Make sure you subscribe. This. And then you also subscribe to Heinz Verified and you can see something new eventually. Eventually. Because it's not this. Not canceled. Not canceled. I know I'm throwing people off. Like, what? What's canceled? It's not. I swear. Not canceled. Okay? That's the whole point. Not canceled. All right. Oh, I also started working on end cards. So all of the videos, and that's why nothing's posted yet to Randsanity either, because I'm slow and CapCut and the editing stuff and all these other editors that I'm using. I'm trying to, again, overthink it because I can't just do anything simply in my life. So editing a video, I mean, really? I had a whole thing. I went to Buckeye Donuts. I had a video of me going into Buckeye Donuts. I had me greeting the guy at Buckeye Donuts. I had a picture of all the Buckeye Donuts. I had him putting the Buckeye Donuts in, this and this. And what did you get? You got a box of Buckeye Donuts opening up with angel noises. Ah! Because I couldn't get everything else edited to look right. Oh, I should have done this, you should have done this, because I overthink it too much. So, yes, that is what's going to happen a lot. I'll tell you about all the video footage I took and how great it looked. And then you won't see it because I didn't get it edited in time. Which, again, ruins the whole plot, doesn't it? Because then you have to visualize it. And the whole point is that I can put it on the computer and you can watch it as opposed to visualize it. And I can make shorts. Not the ones I'm wearing, because I actually have shorts on tonight because it's steamy and I don't have central air in my house. I only have window air conditioners. So again, it's nice down here in my basement studio because I'm below ground and it's cooler down here. Not just the fact that I'm in the room making it cooler, but for the fact that it's temperature-wise, it's a cellar, so it's not as hot as other places. All right, so Thursday night, Friday the 13th tomorrow. So, as always, do good things. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for commenting. Yeah, I know, I forgot to say this. I know that, wow, everybody was paying attention to that one. Got it. I think it was one of the, oh, Don, wow, ooh, you went there, didn't you? You totally went there. Yeah, I'm just going to not go with that comment. All right, so as always, thank you guys for being here and watching and participating and helping me and being kind. I appreciate it, friends. Tomorrow, we'll do this all again, but completely different because I have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow. I think I'm going to try and work on the website. I'm going to go visit my friend Brian over at Roach T-shirts and see if I can get maybe some new T-shirts made for Ransanities. And maybe I'll start wearing some of the new ones I have because I need some new T-shirts because I have a lot of Ransanities, many, many, many. And I have some other ideas for T-shirts and I have some other ideas for things. I just haven't done it yet because I have to still figure out how to make Shopify work. Yeah, I know. Kids can do it. But that's the problem. I'm not a kid anymore, even though I pretend and act like one constantly, according to lots of people in my life. Where's those sound effects? That's what I need. I swear. I'm going to get this thing to work. So I've got this thing right here. It's this Tascam Mini Studio Creator. No idea how it works. It just showed up, and it was one of those things I found I was just cleaning. But I bet it has little buttons and things, so I was going to Google it later. I'm just missing the parts and pieces to make it work. I don't have headphones, clearly, or I would have put them on so I could hear things when I screw up. I don't have the proper outputs or inputs for it. They're here somewhere, I just don't have them. But I'll get it to work. So maybe it does, I can make sound effects or not. And then there's stills I can do with there's a whole thing that I can use with the stills for the Black Magic. Just haven't done that either. So learning. But you're all helping. So tell Brian, the idea guy, says aloha. I will totally tell him aloha. Just like I did Mark, our friend at Tasty Dog, because I went to Tasty Dog today when I stopped at the bank today, because I had to go see our friends at the bank, and Tasty Dog is right next door. And I got the sweet Teddy, chili dog on a pretzel bun. Yum. And got to support local. He also has ice cream, so I did get a scoop of ice cream, and then I put it in my coffee, and I made a lafagata. It's an affogato, but I call it lafagata. So for lafagata your order. Okay. 7, holy crap, 6. Okay, well, we had 7 for a second. For a second, I'm like, wait, we have 7 people. No, it's back down to 6. Not that I don't love you all. The steamed Bavarian pretzel roll. Yes, I know. The steamed Bavarian pretzel roll. So, when is National Hot Dog Day? That's what I want to know. We'll get there. So, anyway, Friday the 13th tomorrow. So be safe. Do good things. Golf cart day, National Golf Cart Day. So get in your golf cart and do ridiculously stupid things because of Friday the 13th. Why not? Wear blue day and blame someone else day. So I'm going to blame somebody else if I screw things up tomorrow because it wasn't my fault. Thanks, friends. And as always, do good things and fade to black.